You have no idea what you just started, Piccola. Those words still echo in my mind. I kissed a mafia boss at my cousin's wedding, a man who, just 1 hour earlier, I watched order someone's punishment with a gun to their head. He warned me to forget what I saw. He told me I was nothing, but when he pulled me close on that dance floor, something inside me snapped, and I kissed him in front of 200 guests. That kiss made me a target. His enemies saw weakness. They came for me. But here's what I didn't expect. The most dangerous man in the city became my only protection. And falling in love with him? That was never part of the plan. He offered to burn his entire empire to the ground just to give me a normal life. But I chose to stay in his darkness, because some loves are worth the danger. This is the story of how one reckless kiss changed everything, and why walking away was never an option. This story will show you that real love doesn't always come wrapped in safety. Sometimes the person the world fears most is the one who will protect you fiercely, and choosing to stay, when everyone tells you to run, might just be the bravest decision of your life. If you've ever loved someone others couldn't understand, stay until the end. My life split in two at a wedding. I stood in a pale pink dress I could not afford, watching people who never worried about rent. I did not belong. Then I saw him across the lawn. He was surrounded by men in dark suits, a center of quiet power. People moved around him, drawn to his dangerous energy. He had dark hair and cold eyes that seemed to carry weight. For a moment, those eyes met mine and my breath stopped. My friend Clara appeared beside me. "Stay away from him," she warned. "That's Dante Moretti. He makes people disappear." I promised her I would. But later, I stepped into the gardens for fresh air and heard angry voices. Hidden by hedges, I saw 3 men cornering another man on his knees. One held a gun. Then Dante stepped into the light. He moved like a predator, slow and deliberate. Without raising his voice, he gave an order. His men dragged the sobbing man away. I tried to back away quietly, but my heel caught on a stone and I gasped. Dante's eyes locked onto mine. There was no warmth in his gaze, only cold calculation. I was now a problem that needed to be solved. "I'm sorry," I stammered. "I didn't see anything." He moved closer, his confidence making it impossible to run. He knew my name. "Go back to the party, Elena," he said softly. "Forget this." As I turned to leave, his voice stopped me. "If you tell anyone," he said, his tone like steel, "I will know." Back inside, my heart pounded. Then the crowd parted. Dante Moretti stood before me, his hand extended for a dance. It was not a question. Refusing would draw the wrong kind of attention. I placed my trembling hand in his, and he led me to the floor. "You're afraid of me," he murmured. "Should I be?" I asked. "Yes," he replied. "Why are you doing this?" I whispered. "Everyone is watching," he said simply. "This dance makes you look like nothing. It is for your own protection." The words were meant to be a shield, but they still stung. When the song ended, he held on for a moment. "Be careful," he warned. "This world is not kind to innocent things." I do not know what came over me. I stood on my toes and pressed my lips to his. It was a brief, reckless impulse. I pulled back, shocked at myself. His expression was frozen. He leaned close to my ear. "You have no idea what you just started," he whispered, then walked away. I spent the night terrified, replaying his words. Kissing a man who made people disappear was a terrible mistake. The next morning at the art gallery where I worked, I tried to force a sense of normal. I needed to feel safe again, but safety was now a fantasy. "Elena, someone is here for you," my boss said. My heart stopped. Dante Moretti stood in the middle of the gallery. He looked completely out of place in his expensive suit. "I would like to buy some art," he said smoothly, but his eyes told a different story. Once we were alone, I whispered, "What are you doing here? I kept my promise." "I know," he said, stepping closer. "That is not why I am here. You should not have kissed me, Elena." My face burned. "It was seen," he said quietly, "by people who now think you are important to me." "But I'm not," I insisted. A dark look crossed his face. I lied. He told me that people would try to harm me just to get to him. A cold dread filled my stomach. What was I supposed to do? You will stay near me, he said with finality. I have to make them believe you are not important to me. But being seen with you makes it worse, does it not? The damage is already done, Piccola. The way he said the nickname made my heart skip. You became a target the moment you kissed me. The room felt small. I did not ask for any of this. I know, he said, his face softening a little. But that is the reality. He typed a number into his phone and showed me the screen. Save this. If a stranger approaches you, call me right away. My hands trembled as I saved the contact. I do not understand, I whispered. Why does it matter to you if I get hurt? He paused, then gently brushed a strand of hair from my cheek. The simple touch took my breath away. Because you are innocent, he said softly, and I will not let you be destroyed because of me. Just then, the gallery bell chimed as an older couple entered. Dante's demeanor instantly became cold and distant. I will take that painting, he said, pointing to a random landscape. That will be $4,000, I said, my voice weak. He handed me a credit card without a second thought. After he was gone, I found his business card in the bag. It just said, Dante Moretti, Private Investments. There was nothing else. I knew I should throw his card away and block his number. Instead, I put it in my pocket. Later that night, as I was locking the gallery, I saw an expensive black car parked across the street. Its engine was running. My stomach twisted with fear. With shaking fingers, I dialed the number Dante gave me. He answered immediately. What is it? There is a car, I whispered. It has been sitting outside the gallery for 10 minutes. Go back inside and lock the door, he commanded. I am 5 minutes away. Do not leave. The call ended. My hands shook so much that I nearly dropped my keys before I finally got the door locked behind me. The car across the street did not move. 4 minutes later, a sleek black car pulled up. Dante got out, his body tight with tension. He walked over to the other vehicle. The window rolled down and they exchanged words. I saw the barely contained anger in his posture. Then he came toward the gallery. I unlocked the door. Who were they? I asked. Someone you no longer need to worry about. He looked me over, checking for any sign of harm. Are you okay? I nodded, but it was a lie. I was terrified. Come on, he said. I am taking you home. I will have someone get your car in the morning. His tone made it clear there was no room to argue. He drove without speaking. I gave him my address in a small voice. When we arrived, he turned to me. You are safe now, he promised. For how long? I asked quietly. His jaw tightened. For as long as I say. I should have just thanked him and run inside. Instead, I asked him why he was doing all of this. He looked at me for a long time, his dark eyes impossible to read. Because you kissed me, Piccola, he said. In my world, that is a promise. He reached over and opened my door, a clear signal for me to leave. I walked to my building, feeling his eyes on me the entire time. 3 days went by with no word from Dante. I was a mess, constantly checking my phone and watching for dark cars. My friend Clara called twice about the wedding, and I lied, telling her everything was fine. On Thursday evening, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Dinner, 8 o'clock. An address was attached. It was him. I texted back, why? The reply was instant, because we must be seen together, and because I want to. That last part made me pause. I texted, is this necessary? Dante, yes, wear something nice. I stood in my closet feeling hopeless. I had nothing suitable for the kind of place he would go. I chose a simple black dress I owned for gallery events. At 7:45, a driver knocked on my door. The restaurant was stunning, a place I had only ever seen in magazines. The hostess showed me to a private table where Dante was waiting. He stood as I approached, and the simple gesture made my stomach turn over. He looked incredible in a dark blue suit. Elena, he said, pulling out my chair for me. I felt like a child playing dress-up in an adult's life. This place is lovely, I said, avoiding his eyes. I thought you would appreciate it. A waiter appeared with wine. After he left, I finally asked, "You said we needed to be seen. Who is watching us?" "Someone always is," he said simply. "That is how my world operates. And what are they supposed to see?" He met my gaze, and I felt a blush rise on my cheeks. "They are supposed to see that you are protected by me," he said. "That harming you would be a very bad idea. The message is being sent loud and clear. I still do not understand why you are doing all this." "You do." His voice was soft but firm. I felt like I did, but I needed him to say it. "You do not even know me," I whispered. "I know what matters." He studied me. "I know you barely make enough money to pay your rent. I know you have an art history degree that you cannot use." My jaw dropped. "You investigated me." "Of course," he said without apology. "I had to know who you were. And what did you learn? That you are a good person who does not belong anywhere near my life." The confession hung in the air between us. "If I were truly good, I would not have kissed you," I said. "That kiss was the most honest thing that has happened to me in years," he replied. Dinner arrived and we ate in a tense silence. "Tell me something true about yourself," he said suddenly. I hesitated. "I am scared," I admitted quietly. "Scared of all this, of your world. I am afraid of making another mistake." He paused, then reached across the table. His fingers brushed against mine. "You have every right to be scared," he said. "But you do not need to be scared of me." The brief touch felt like a brand. "Now it is your turn," I whispered. "Tell me something true." His jaw clenched. "I have not been able to get you out of my head since the wedding. I tried to dismiss you as a problem," he continued, his voice low. "But then I saw how you looked at me in the gallery, like I was a monster. And all I wanted was to show you I could be something different." He drove me home himself. The car felt much smaller with just the two of us inside. "Thank you for everything," I said as he stopped the car. His hands tightened on the wheel. "This is not over. Not until I know you are safe." He turned to me, and his intense gaze took my breath away. "He said it would end when you tell me to stop. What if I do not?" The words were out before I could stop them. Something dangerous flashed in his eyes. "Then we find out what happens next." I should have left. Instead, I asked, "Do you want to come up?" Surprise and heat crossed his face. "Elena," he said my name like a warning. "You do not know what you are asking, but I am asking anyway." He looked at me for a long moment, then shook his head. "Not tonight, little one." Relief and disappointment washed over me. "Why not?" "Because when I come to your apartment," he said, "it will be because you know exactly what you want." My face grew hot. "That is not." "Yes, it is." He touched my jaw gently. "And there is nothing wrong with it, but I will not take advantage." "What if I want you to?" The whisper escaped me. His eyes darkened. "Do not say that unless you mean it," he said roughly. "I do," I breathed. His lips brushed my ear. "Then prove it," he whispered. "Choose me again when you are not scared, when you know that getting closer to me means stepping into the dark." I got out of the car on shaky legs. This time I looked back. He was still watching. I realized I was no longer running from Dante Moretti. I was falling toward him. Flowers arrived the next day. They were white peonies in a crystal vase. The card simply said D. "A secret admirer," Margaret said. Something like that. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Dante. "Do you like them?" "They are beautiful," I replied. He wrote back, "Lunch today." I remembered his words about choosing him when I was not scared. I was scared, but I was also drawn to him. "Where?" I replied. "I will pick you up at noon," he answered. He arrived on time, looking dangerous and beautiful in dark jeans and a leather jacket. Every woman in the gallery watched him. We left in a less obvious car, a dark navy sedan. Where are we going? I asked. Somewhere we can talk. The thought did not worry me. It filled me with anticipation. We drove into the hills where large estates stood behind long driveways. He turned into one lined with olive trees. The house was modern with huge windows. Is this yours? I asked. It is one of my properties. I come here to think, too. The inside was not what I expected. It was filled with light, with white and gray decor. It is beautiful, I said. I am glad you like it. He moved to the open kitchen. Are you hungry? I was surprised he could cook. I watched as he took out fresh pasta and tomatoes. His movements were confident. My grandmother taught me, he said. Tell me about her, I said. I want to know you, the real you. He paused. She raised me after my parents died, he began. She taught me loyalty and respect. I asked if she knew about his work. He nodded. She knew. She did not always approve, but she understood. In our world, you do not choose your inheritance. Do you ever wish you could? His eyes looked raw. Every day, the confession hung between us. We ate on the terrace. The conversation was easy. We talked about my dreams of New York. Why did you not go? He asked. Money and fear, I said. What if I could make it happen for you? I have connections. No, I said firmly. I need to know my success is mine, not because of who I am with. His voice turned soft. What do you want us to be? The question surprised me. I do not know if I get a choice. You always have a choice, Elena, but you said I was already part of this. You are right, he said, turning his back to me. You are part of this. But what happens next is your choice. I stood beside him. What are my options? I can keep you safe from a distance. You go back to your life, and I stay in mine. Or you let me in. You accept that this is real, and we figure it out together. And if I choose that? He faced me. Then you accept all of me. The man who runs an empire built on fear and blood. You are trying to scare me away, I whispered. I am trying to be honest. He touched my cheek. Because once you are truly mine, I will not let you go. The words should have terrified me. Instead, something ignited inside me. I am not running, I said. You should be. I stepped closer. I am not. His control broke. Elena. My name was both a warning and a plea. Kiss me, I whispered. If I start, I will not want to stop, then do not stop. His mouth was on mine, and the world disappeared. The kiss was slow and deliberate. It made me tremble. I held on to his shirt as he pulled me closer. He pulled back, breathing hard. We should slow down. I do not want to, I breathed. He gave a rough laugh, then kissed me again, softer this time. When we finally broke apart, I was shaking. Stay here tonight, he said quietly. My heart pounded. In the guest room, he clarified. I just do not want you to leave yet. His words shattered something inside me. I whispered my agreement. He led me to a guest room of soft grays with a view of the dark valley. Sleep was impossible. I tossed in the strange bed, replaying every moment between us. Finally, I went downstairs for water. I found him on the terrace holding a glass, looking at the same view. He knew I was there. Can't sleep? He asked. My mind is too loud. We stood together in silence before I had to ask. Do you regret it? He finally turned and his eyes burned even in the dark. No, his voice was raw. My only regret is that I can't have you again right now. My breath caught. Why not? Because you're in my shirt looking at me like that. I am barely in control. Heat rushed through me. Maybe I don't want you in control, I whispered back. His gaze intensified. Do not test me, Piccola. I moved closer anyway. What if I am ready? You are not. His voice was tight. You are trembling. He was right, but it was not from fear. Dante. Go to bed, Elena, he ordered, his voice thick with restraint. I saw his knuckles turn white on the railing and knew he was fighting a battle. I returned to my room, aching. I knew nothing would be the same. I woke to bright sunlight and the aroma of coffee. The memories of last night rushed back, making my cheeks burn. My dress from yesterday was on a chair, perfectly cleaned and pressed. Downstairs, I found Dante in the kitchen with 2 mugs waiting. He was in sweatpants and a t-shirt, his hair a mess. He looked so much softer than the man in the suit that I froze in the entrance. "Good morning," he said, offering a mug. I thanked him, my hands warming around it. "I can take you back to the city soon," he continued. "But first, I need to ask you something." He hesitated. "There is a charity gala tomorrow night. I want you to go with me." My stomach tightened. He added, "You need to be seen with me for your protection. But yes, it would be as my date. Will that not make things more difficult?" "They already are," he said, stepping closer. "And you were right. We cannot hide." "I have nothing to wear," was my weak protest. "I will handle it. Please let me," he insisted gently. I should have refused, but I wanted this. I wanted to enter his world. "Okay," I breathed. A warm look crossed his face. Later that day, a stunning emerald dress arrived. It fit perfectly, which was not a surprise. He would know my size. As I was admiring it, my friend Clara called. "What is going on?" she demanded. "I saw pictures of you with Dante Moretti." "That restaurant is ridiculously expensive, Elena." "It was just a meal," I said, a half-truth. I could not lie to her. "Clara, I cannot explain everything, but I am safe. I promise this is my choice." Her silence was heavy. Then she stated it like a fact. "You are falling for him." I denied it, but we both knew it was a lie. The gala was in a grand hotel, like stepping back in time. Dante's hand was firm on my back as he guided me inside. The entire room watched our entrance. "They are all staring," I whispered. "Let them," Dante said calmly. "You are beautiful." His words helped, but my stomach was in knots. The guests were a mix of politicians and titans of industry. There were also men like Dante, who ruled from the shadows. He introduced me to so many people. They smiled, but their eyes were full of calculation, asking questions I could not answer myself. What was I to Dante Moretti? After a few hours, Dante was pulled aside by serious-looking men. "Stay here," he told me before leaving. I felt completely exposed, standing alone. "So, you are the one," a voice said. A beautiful woman with cold eyes stood before me. The one who finally caught his eye. Her smile was fake. "I am Isabella, an old friend." The word friend was a lie. "He does not do relationships," she said, her voice low. "He collects pretty things, and then he throws them away." Her words hit their mark. I kept my voice even. "That is not your concern." "Just a warning," she said, before walking away, leaving me unsettled. Suddenly, Dante was beside me, his face grim. "Do not listen to her," he said. He had heard. "Isabella is bitter. I ended things with her years ago." "Is it true?" I asked quietly. "Do you just discard people?" He turned to me, his gaze fierce. "You are not a possession, Elena, and I am not discarding you." "Then what am I to you?" "I am still discovering that," he admitted, taking my hand. "But you are not temporary." His words soothed a fear I did not want to name. "Dance with me," he whispered. On the floor, he pulled me close, and I melted against him, listening to his heart. "I am sorry for all of this," he murmured. "For her. It is not your fault." "I brought you here," he insisted. "I chose to come," I replied softly. He pulled back, his eyes searching mine. "Why?" he asked, his voice raw. "Why me?" The truth came out in a rush. "Because with you, I feel more than just alive, even when I am terrified." He touched my face gently. "You destroy all my defenses, Piccola." "Is that a bad thing?" "I do not know yet," he admitted, resting his forehead on mine. "But I never want it to stop." We were in our own world on that dance floor. "Take me home," I whispered. His breath hitched. Elena, I am not scared anymore, I told him, meeting his gaze. I do not want to be careful, not with you. Heat and control fought in his eyes. Are you certain? I have never been more certain, I said. He froze for a second, then took my hand. His hand closed around mine, leading me from the dance floor. Let's go, he commanded. I went with him into the night. My heart pounded with a mix of fear and desire. I was crossing a point of no return. The drive to his home was silent and filled with tension. His jaw was set, one hand gripping the wheel. I could feel the energy between us. You can change your mind, he said, his eyes fixed on the road. I will take you home. I found my voice. I am not going to change my mind. I want you. The words hung in the air. He parked the car but did not move to get out. He turned to me, his face serious. If we do this, he said, everything is different. I knew. I will not be able to let you go, he warned. The intensity in his voice made me shiver. Then let's go inside. The house was dark. He led me past a large living room with huge windows. My heels clicked on the floor, the only sound in the quiet house. At the bottom of the stairs, he paused. Last chance, he whispered. I answered by kissing him. He responded with a hungry kiss that took my breath away. One hand tangled in my hair, the other pressed me close. He lifted me easily into his arms. My legs wrapped around his waist as he carried me upstairs without breaking our kiss. He kicked a door open and we were in his bedroom. He gently set me down. We stood breathing hard, just looking at each other. I have dreamed of this, he said, holding my face. Since you kissed me, I wanted you here. Then why are we still wearing clothes? His eyes burned with heat. Because I want this to be perfect. His thumbs gently stroked my cheeks. I want to take my time, learn every sound you make. I kissed him again, silencing him. I'm scared you will change your mind, I admitted. Never, he promised. He turned me around and I felt his fingers on the zipper of my dress. I am going to make you understand who you belong to. The zipper went down slowly. Cool air touched my back, followed by his lips. So responsive, he whispered against my shoulder. The dress fell to the floor. I stood there in my underwear, feeling completely exposed. You are beautiful, he said. He lifted me and laid me on the bed. He just stood and looked at me for a moment. Do not hide from me, he said softly. Then he was on the bed with me. His warmth and his weight surrounded me. His mouth found mine again, slower this time. His hands explored my body, mapping every curve. Tell me if you do not like something, he murmured against my lips. I could only nod, lost in the feeling. Time melted away as our clothes disappeared. Dante, I breathed. His name was a plea. I know, he answered. His hand moved lower, and I arched against his touch. A small sound escaped my lips. Let me hear you, he encouraged. My world became only his touch and his mouth. I was trembling, caught between desire and fear. He pulled back slightly to look at me. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, I whispered. It is just, I have never. He understood. His eyes widened. He went still. Why did you not tell me? He asked gently. I did not want you to stop. Please do not, I whispered. This should be special, he said. It is special, I insisted, touching his face. Because it is you. I saw his control break. I will be slow, he promised. You tell me if you want to stop. He kissed me deeply. When we finally joined, I gasped at the sharp feeling. He froze. Do not stop, I begged. He moved with care, his eyes locked on mine. The pain faded into a feeling of deep connection. It was so intense it brought tears to my eyes. You are crying, he said with concern. I am okay, I whispered. He kissed my tears away and moved with more confidence. I clung to him, completely overwhelmed. Look at me, he commanded softly. I met his gaze, The hunger and tenderness I saw there broke me. Mine, he breathed against my skin, and I knew it was true. Afterward, we lay tangled together. His arms held me close and his steady heartbeat grounded me. "Are you all right?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "Are you sure I did not hurt you?" "Only a little at first," I admitted. "Then it was perfect." His arms tightened around me. "You are incredible." "Why?" "You gave me something precious, and you are asking if I am okay." I looked up at him. "Are you?" His expression was soft and satisfied. "I have never been better." I snuggled closer, feeling warm and safe. "What now?" I asked. "Now you sleep," he said. "Promise you will still be here." He tilted my face toward his. "I am not going anywhere. Neither are you." It was not a threat, it was a promise. I closed my eyes and let sleep take me, feeling safe in his arms. I woke to sunlight and the smell of coffee. My body ached in a pleasant way. Dante stood by the window in his sleep pants. He turned when he heard me move and gave me a warm smile. "Good morning," he said. I sat up, holding the sheet. "You are up early." "I could not sleep," he said, sitting on the edge of the bed. "I was too busy watching you." "That is a little creepy," I teased. "Maybe," he laughed, tucking my hair behind my ear. "How do you feel?" "Happy," I said. "A little sore, but happy." His face softened. "I am glad. What about you?" "Terrified," he answered honestly. I was confused. "Why?" "Because now that I have you," he said, "the idea of losing you is unbearable." I took his hand. "Nothing is going to happen. You do not know that." "Then you will protect me." He kissed my hand. "With my life." I believed him, but we had no idea the real danger was about to begin. The next week was a haze of secret moments. We learned about each other, falling deeper every day. A text from Dante shattered my two worlds. "Do not leave the gallery. Marco is coming for you." My stomach twisted. I asked what was wrong. He only replied, "Stay inside. Lock the doors. I will explain later." My hands shook as I secured the entrance and cut the lights. The security system cast the only glow. 15 minutes later, a black vehicle appeared. One of Dante's men, Marco, stepped out. I unlocked the door, my heart pounding. He told me we had to leave immediately. He said there was an incident and Dante wanted me secure. In the vehicle, I felt numb. I asked where we were going. "Dante's office," he replied. "He is waiting." We drove for 20 minutes into a part of the city I did not know. In an underground garage, Marco led me to a private elevator. It opened into a space that radiated power. Dante was there, on his phone. He saw me and his face flooded with relief. He hung up and crossed the room. "Are you okay?" I told him I was fine and asked what happened. His jaw set. "An attack. One of my shipments was hit. 3 of my men are dead." A cold dread filled me. He said the Rossi family did it. They were trying to start a war. He cupped my face. "And now anyone close to me is a target." "So I am bait," I whispered. "No," he said fiercely. "You are protected. No one can touch you here." "I have to send a message," he said, his voice flat. "A message that shows what happens when they threaten what is mine." Instead of fear, I felt a strange safety. I asked if it would be dangerous. Yes. I asked if he would be safe. His expression softened. "Are you worried about me?" "Of course I am." He pulled me into a tight embrace. "I have done this for a long time. I know how to handle it." He told me to stay the night. But I wanted to wait for him. He studied my face, then agreed. He warned me to stay away from the windows. Then he was gone. I was alone. I tried to read, to look at the art, but nothing could distract me. Everything in the office was impersonal, except for a single photo on his desk. It was a younger Dante, next to an older woman with kind eyes. His grandmother. He looked softer then, before his world turned so heavy. Hours crawled by. Every noise made me flinch. The door finally opened around 3 in the morning. Dante entered, and I saw the blood. My relief vanished. "Are you hurt?" I asked, rushing to him. "It is not mine," he said, moving to the bathroom. I followed. He washed his hands, turning the water red. "I told you what I am, Elena. This is my world." "I know," I said. He looked at me, his eyes sharp. "Seeing it is different. I am not running." "You should be," he said, drying his hands. "You should run far from me. Is that what you want?" "What I want is not important. It is to me." I stepped closer, ignoring the voice telling me to flee. "Tell me what happened." "I sent the message," he said. "The Rossis know not to come after what is mine." "Did someone die?" "Yes." The word was heavy in the air. I should have seen a monster, but I only saw the man who did this to protect me. "Are you safe now?" I asked. "For now." "Then come here." He stared, confused. "Elena, there is blood on my hands." "Come here," I repeated. He walked toward me slowly. I wrapped my arms around him and held on. He was rigid at first. Then he fell into me, his face in my hair. "You should hate me," he said. "I do not. You should be afraid. I am not." I pulled back. "I am afraid for you. That is different." His eyes searched mine. "How can you look at me after this?" "Because I know why you did it. You are not a monster, Dante. That does not make it right." "No," I said, "but it makes it human." He kissed me, desperate and raw. "I do not deserve you," he whispered against my forehead. "Too bad," I said. "You are stuck with me." A small laugh escaped him. "Promise me you will tell me if this becomes too much." "I promise," I said quietly. He held me as the sun began to rise. I had chosen all of him, the light and the dark. 2 days later, the Rossi family responded. At the gallery, Margaret told me I had a delivery. I expected flowers from Dante, but it was a small box wrapped in brown paper with no return address. "A courier dropped it off," she said. I took the box to the back room with a sense of dread. I texted Dante. He replied instantly. "I did not send anything. Do not open it. Marco is on his way." My curiosity won. I opened the box. Inside was a picture of me walking to my car the day before. On the back, in red ink, it said, "You are easier to touch than you think." My hands began to tremble. Marco walked in, his face grim. "We need to go." "They know where I work," I whispered. They were watching me. His jaw tightened. "Dante is waiting." At his house, Dante was pacing. He saw me and pulled me into his arms. I gave him the photo. His concern turned to pure rage. "Rossi," he said, "this is how he operates. Threats, then action." "You do nothing," he told me. "You stay here. I am putting guards on you 24/7. I cannot hide forever, Dante. You can until this is over, and I will end it." I saw the terror beneath his anger, the fear of losing me. "Okay," I said softly. "I will stay." Dante said he had to meet some people to stop a war. He asked if I would be okay. His kiss was hard, an act of possession. He told me Marco would be outside and I was not to leave. I promised I would stay. After he left, I was alone with 2 guards and my dark thoughts. Hours dragged by. The photograph proved they had been watching me, able to reach me at any time. The idea was terrifying. As the sun set, my phone buzzed with an unknown number. I answered it. A smooth male voice said my name. "I am Luca Rossi." My blood ran cold. "How did you get my number?" "Dante is not the only one with resources," he said. "Did you enjoy my present?" "What do you want from me?" "I want to send a message to Dante. Tell him to back away, or I will destroy everything he loves, starting with you." "He will kill you for this," I said, my voice firm. He laughed. "Perhaps. But I will hurt you first, and I will make him watch." The line went dead. I sat there shaking, phone in my hand. I needed to tell Dante, but I knew his reaction would be violent. It would only make the war worse. Suddenly, I heard shouting outside, followed by gunshots. I dropped to the floor as my heart pounded. More shots, closer this time. Glass shattered somewhere inside the house. Marco rushed in. Miss Elena, we have to go. Now. He pulled me up, guiding me to the back of the house as gunfire exploded around us. We reached the garage where a car was waiting with the engine running. Marco yelled for me to get in. I threw myself into the back seat. We sped away just as more shots echoed behind us. Are they following? I asked, out of breath. He checked the mirrors. Not yet. He was already on the phone. We have been compromised. I have Miss Elena. We are heading to the safe house. I could only imagine Dante's rage on the other end of the line. The safe house was a small apartment in an unfamiliar part of the city. Marco searched it, then stood guard. I asked him how they found us. Someone talked, he said. Dante will be here in 15 minutes, he told me. It felt like an eternity. When the door opened, Dante came in looking like a storm. His eyes found mine, a mixture of fury and relief. Are you hurt? He asked. I told him I was fine. He came to me, his hands on my face as he checked for himself. Tell me what happened. I explained the phone call from Rossi and the attack that followed. His face grew colder with every word I spoke. He called you directly, Dante stated. He threatened you. Yes. And you did not call me? I was going to, I said. But then the attack happened. You could have been killed, Elena. Do you understand that? If Marco had not been there, you would be gone. He pulled back, his hands in his hair. This is what I was afraid of. You are in danger because of me. It is not your fault, I said. It is my fault, he insisted. The pain in his eyes was clear. Every threat you face is because you are with me. I would choose you again. He shook his head. You do not mean that. I do, I said, moving closer to him. I am scared, Dante, but I am not leaving. You should. I am not, I repeated. He stared at me, then pulled me into a tight embrace. I cannot lose you, he whispered. You will not. I promise. His kiss was desperate. A claim. I kissed him back, holding nothing back. When we separated, his face was hard. This ends tonight. What are you doing? I am doing what I should have done in the beginning. He turned to Marco. Call everyone for a meeting in 1 hour. Dante, I am ending this war for good, he said. He left me with 3 guards, promising to return by dawn. Sleep was impossible. Every noise made me flinch. Around 4 in the morning, my phone finally rang. It is done, Dante said. What is done? Rossi is dead. His men have agreed to peace. The war is over. I felt both relief and horror. Are you all right? I am alive. That is what matters. Come back to me, I said. I am on my way. When he arrived, he looked exhausted but relieved that I was safe. It is over, he said, holding me. You are safe now. We stood together as the sun came up. The war was finished, but I knew loving Dante Moretti would bring other battles. After Rossi's death, Dante's power was absolute. The message was clear. Threaten what belongs to Dante, and you die. The peace he created was built on fear. I moved into his home for good. My old life, my friend Clara, it all began to fade away. Dante was different, more protective. He held me at night as if he was afraid I would disappear. I asked him one evening to tell me what he was thinking. He was quiet for a long time. I killed a man for threatening you. I know. Does it not bother you? Should it? I asked. You protected us. I will not condemn you for that, even if it makes me a monster. You are not a monster, I said, taking his hand. You are a man forced to make terrible choices. That is a kind way to see it. It is the truth. He pulled me close and I listened to the sound of his heart. I have been thinking about what happens next. What do you mean? This life is dangerous. and you will always be a target as long as you are with me. He held me tighter. I need you to understand what this means. I do. Do you really? He asked, looking at me. This is not temporary, Elena. This is who I am. I know. And you still choose me? I saw the fear in his eyes. He was afraid I would finally see the truth of this life and leave. Every single day, I said softly. I choose you every day. Relief washed over his face. I do not deserve you. Probably not, I smiled. But you have me now. He kissed me slowly. 2 weeks later, I heard raised voices from Dante's office. It was Marco. You cannot be serious. Dante sounded tired. I am. It is the only way. You would give all this up for her? After a moment of silence, Dante simply said, Yes. My heart stopped beating. The families will see it as weakness, another man said. I do not care how they see it, Dante replied, his voice firm. I am done. I am getting out. Getting out? Marco was in shock. You cannot just leave this life. Watch me. I backed away from the door. He was leaving his empire for me. That night I spoke to him about it. I heard you talking with Marco. He became still. How much did you hear? I heard enough. Why are you doing this? Because I want a life with you, he said. A real life. One where you are not afraid. Dante, you cannot do this for me. I am doing it for us, he said, taking my hands. I have spent my entire life building this world. For what? Power? Money? It means nothing if I lose you. I felt tears in my eyes. What about your empire? I will hand it over to Marco. He is the only one I trust. But it is your legacy. You are my legacy, Elena, he said quietly. Just you. This life almost took you from me. I will not let that happen again. But will they let you leave? They do not have a choice. I am giving them one. They accept my terms, or I will burn their world to the ground before I walk away. Give it to Marco. He is skilled and loyal. The handover would be smooth. And you would simply leave. We could vanish. Find a new place to start over and build a life that was only ours. The thought was intoxicating. A normal life with Dante, free from the violence. But I knew what it would cost him. Everything he had built. Everyone he protected. I cannot let you do that, I told him. His face changed. What? I said. I cannot let you erase yourself for me. Elena, I see how this world makes you feel alive, making choices, leading your men, keeping them safe. I touched his cheek. That is who you are. I fell in love with all of it, not just the easy parts. You deserve a normal life, he insisted. Maybe. But I chose you. All of you. Even the parts that scare me. You have no idea what you are asking for. Yes, I do. I held him tightly. I will not let you sacrifice your entire world for my sake. We will find a way to make this work. Elena, you have to promise me, I cut in. Promise we will find another way. He looked at me, the conflict clear in his eyes. Then he pulled me close, holding me as if I were his only anchor. I promise, he whispered. We will find another way. The next morning, Dante was already dressed, watching me from the edge of the bed. I have something for you, he said. He opened his hand to show a small velvet box. My heart stopped. Dante. It is not a proposal, he said quickly. Not yet. He opened it, showing the simple ring with one diamond. I want you to have this as a promise. A promise of what? That I belong to you. He looked directly at me. No matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, I will always return to you. Tears fell as he put the ring on my finger. I love you, he said softly. I do not think I have said that before. I love you, Elena. I love you too, I whispered back. Later, I called Clara and asked to meet. The space between us at the coffee shop felt enormous. You seem different, she observed. I am. Are you happy? The question hung between us. I thought about the constant danger, but also about the love and the feeling of being protected. Yes, I am happy, I said. Elena studied my face. I do not understand it, but I am happy for you. She grabbed my hand. Just promise me you will be careful. I promised, but I knew loving Dante meant accepting his world, a world that never lets go. 3 months later, I was a different person entirely. The innocent girl I used to be was afraid of the dark. The woman I had become learned to live in it. You are thinking too much. I turned to see Dante watching me. I am just reflecting, I told him. He wrapped his arms around me. Any regrets? He asked. No, I said, leaning against him. None at all. My life had completely changed. I worked from home, and Clara and I were still friends. Dante had kept his promise to me. He was finding ways to lessen the danger, moving his empire toward legal businesses. It was a slow process, but he was trying. For us. There is something I must tell you, he said. A knot formed in my stomach. What is it? I met with federal investigators today. My blood turned to ice. They have been building a case against some of my former partners. He turned me to face him. They want me to testify. If I do, I am out. Total immunity. A fresh start. His eyes searched mine for an answer. We could just disappear. Be normal. It was the life he had wanted to give me before. But I could hear the problem in his voice. But it means betraying men who have been loyal to me. His jaw was tight. It means becoming a rat. I understood. In his world, loyalty was the only law. Betrayal was the ultimate sin. What do you want to do? I asked him. I do not know. A part of me wants the deal, to give you the life you deserve. But I cannot betray who I am. Then do not, I said, taking his hands. Do not take a deal that will break you. We will find another way. We always do. What if we cannot? Then we face the danger together. We will keep building our life until it is strong enough. He looked at me as if I was both precious and terrifying. You would stay? He asked, his voice rough. Knowing what it means? I chose you months ago. Nothing has changed. He kissed me with desperation and gratitude. I do not deserve you, he whispered. You have to stop saying that. He laughed and held me tighter. 2 weeks later, Dante refused the deal. The investigators were not pleased, but they had nothing without him. The relief was temporary. There is talk, Marco said one night. The younger families think the girl is making you soft. They think you are weak. Let them think it, Dante replied calmly. They might try to test you. Then I will remind them why they fear me. I backed away from the door, my stomach in knots. The test arrived a month later. A small shipment was stolen, a clear message from a rival family. I watched him get ready for the meeting. His face became a cold mask. Be careful, I told him. Always. He kissed me gently. I will be home by midnight. He promised. He left. At 11:30, he walked in, tired but unhurt. How did it go? I asked him. It is handled. They will not challenge me again. I did not ask for details. I had learned not to look into the darkness. He pulled me into a hug and we just stood there. I love you, he said. I need you to know that, no matter what I have to do. I know. And I love all of you, even the monster. You are not a monster, I said. You are a man protecting what is his. Later, as we lay in bed, he spoke quietly. Marry me. I turned to look at him. What? Not right now, but someday. His fingers drew circles on my arm. Marry me, Elena. Make us permanent. My eyes filled with tears. Are you certain? I have never been more certain about anything. Yes, I whispered. Someday. Yes. I fell asleep listening to his heart. 6 months passed. Our life began to feel almost normal. I started teaching art history. Dante continued to shift his businesses. We had dinner with Marco and some of his safer associates. We spoke of a real wedding, maybe children. But the shadow was always there. I saw it in the way Dante always watched his back. I saw it in the guards who never relaxed. Our life together was both beautiful and dangerous. His expression would turn cold during hushed phone calls, a constant reminder of his world. "Do you miss your old life?" Dante asked one evening. I admitted I sometimes missed the simplicity, but I would not go back. I would not change a thing. He pulled me close. "It was all worth it," I told him, "because it brought me to you." 1 year later, I stood before a mirror in an elegant white dress. Clara stood next to me, adjusting my veil. We had slowly rebuilt our friendship. "You look beautiful," she said. I admitted I was terrified to marry him, and terrified of how much I wanted this. "That is how you know it is real," she smiled. Dante was waiting downstairs for our small private ceremony. I touched the ring on my finger, his first promise. "Are you ready?" Clara asked. I thought of the fear and the love that brought me here. "Yes," I said. "I am ready." I went downstairs to marry the man who changed everything. He taught me that love does not need to be safe to be real. He showed me that beautiful things can grow in the darkness. Choosing to stay with him, even when it was dangerous, was the bravest thing I have ever done. So stay with me through this journey. And if her story touches your heart, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, pass this to someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you never miss another story that speaks to your soul.